never looked at GPS systems, never looked at Google Maps. All he did was say, I want to get there quick. So when he started coming to Columbus on his motorcycle, he ended up in a bad sector coming here. And they beat him down. And they beat him. They took his wallet, took his money. They took everything away from him. He had no idea why they were doing it. He just knows that I'm here, I'm helpless, and what do I do next? All right? This is Jesus' story. He's telling the story. You all right? All right. You're going to be there for a while, so you all right? All right, thank you. Let's continue. Now, here's the story. I want you to see it. As you're looking at this, I want you to see that we're not too concerned why he took that path. All right? And that's one of the religious mindsets is to ask, why did you get in this situation? That's not our concern. Carrie doesn't say how you got there. Carrie says what you're going to do that he's there. Okay? That's what Carrie says. Religion says, let me now see how you got here, so you spend more time researching how I got here than how you can fix me. Religion always wants to dig deeper. Relationships just want to get you whole. All right, so he's here right now. Now, we're looking at character number one of this story. A Jewish man in need of care. That's character number one. You got the storyline. Character number one. Now, I want you to use your imagination and see that when you drive from your home to a place anywhere in the city, whether it's to work, whether it's to a grocery store, whether it's to a university, that man is somewhere near you. It can be in the form of a female, a daughter. It can be in the form of an Alzheimer patient. It can be in the form of a sickle cell young girl at Children's Hospital. It can be in the form of a poor person on the street who has nothing. It can be in the form of a relative that you walk by because you don't like them. But you're going from Jerusalem to Jericho, and you got 17 miles. In those 17 miles, you see that person there. I want you to take this story and bring it to 2011. Bringing that to the grocery store that you're in right now. Bringing that to the gym that you work out in. Bringing that to universities that you teach at. Bringing that to middle schools and high schools that you go to. Bringing it at your class reunions that you go to. That person is there, okay? Character number one. Now we see in character number one, based on Luke chapter 10:30, Jesus replied a story. A Jewish man was traveling on a trip from Jerusalem to Jericho. Did Jesus ever say, now watch, did Jesus ever say why the guy went that way? So why are we concerned about it? Why? What does it mean? Listen, Jesus replied a story. A Jewish man went on a trip from Jerusalem to Jericho and was attacked by a bandit. They stripped him of his clothes, beat him up, and left him half dead beside the road. Jesus didn't even care. Didn't care about why this guy went a road that was one of the most dangerous places to go. The guy just lost his job, and you ask him, why did he lose his job? The girl just got pregnant. She's 16 years old. You asked her, why did she get pregnant? She had sex. The guy just got cancer. He got a bad report. One of my friends just got a bad report. He called me up and said, look, my wife got some spots on her lungs on her liver, and they think it's cancerous. And he said, look, can you pray for me? I didn't ask him why and when and how. I said, let's deal with it now. I took a CD that my wife listened to, a healing CD that has music and scriptures that I said, have her listen to this day and night before she goes to the doctors. Build her faith up for her future. I didn't care about how she got it. You waste more time trying to get something that's not valuable for caring. research up to people like these men that go in and they spend their time. Not us. We're just supposed to care. Just care. Character number 2. The priest. The priest. Priest, come here. The priest had a good, come over here, priest. The priest had a good position. He was the praise and worship leader of his church. Good position, good title, Christian, praise and worship leader, but he got poor performance. Because now he just walks right by and looks at him. And when he looks at him, he don't see him as a person he should stop and care for. He remembers his title and where he has to go back to. I just got to go back to church and worship. My position is more important than my performance. Do you understand your performance should always supersede your position?
Amen.
If we had CEOs whose performance supersede their positions, we wouldn't have Enrons. If we had people whose performance will supersede their position, if they weren't so oriented to say that my position gives me more value. I was in a meeting and a guy said, hey, Tyus, you know what? I believe in 2011, God has called you to be an apostle. He said, we believe that God has called you to be an apostle. You mean, and I said, you mean a sent one, someone who goes out? They said, you need to take this, man. You don't have faith for it. You need to take it. I said, no. Why don't we do it this way? Why don't I just do what God told me to do and let the position follow me? And if what I'm doing is what God designed me to do and become, then the position should come and just fit me well, like a tailored suit. And what if God is asking us, are you the priest who walked by because of your position that you don't value people? When our positions become greater than our care for people, then we need to reevaluate the position. All right, so he walks by. All right, remember, only what you do will matter. That's what matters. Your doing will make your position mean something to them who see you. Me being a pastor don't mean nothing to a dying world that don't see me pastor. You being Christians and believers and people of God, if you become like the priest with a position that you walk by, then the world will never know that Jesus really cared. Second thing, the third character. You can go sit back there for a minute, Mr. Priest. Third character is the Levite, Mr. Levite, White Castles. The Levite, or the temple assistant, right down there, temple assistant. The Levite, or the temple assistant, is our third character in the storyline. The Levite assistant who was from the right tribe or the right church. He comes from the right church or the right tribe. He goes to charismatic church, Pentecostal church. He goes to a Catholic church. He goes to the right church with the right name. You see that church all over all the billboards. Right place. He went to the right university. He went to the right college, the right high school, the right neighborhood. Everything about him is right. He's a Levite. He said this guy has good vision, but he has a closed heart that produces no action. So he can come and he can visually see that this person needs help. But see, he's a Levite. He wants to spend more time with God instead of spending time letting God use him to show how much God cares. He's a Levite. All he wants to do is stay in church and let people see that his value is in him being a Levite, not in his ability to care. See, he's closed his heart to everything that doesn't relate to what he can get in life. He's a Levite. He's religious.